Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jenny will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger.
Welcome back to another episode of Badass Direct Sales Mastery. I'm your host, Jenny Bellinger, your direct sales dom, helping you whip your business into shape. Today, I have with me Lisa Friesel, and Lisa combines her years of experience in marketing and advertising, multi-level marketing success with her entrepreneurial skills and mindset of creating and scaling her current business, Girls with Goals Who Give, to confidently mentor her clients. Lisa's mission is to empower you to reach your full potential as an entrepreneur. She is an integrated strategist, digging deep into her network marketing clients' businesses, offering out-of-the-box thinking that pushes her clients to be seen as unique and real. And most importantly, she teaches the essence of how long-lasting business exists by nurturing the relationships around you. Well, we've been talking about that on the podcast for ever. That's awesome. Her mission is to eradicate the stigma behind the direct sales industry and she has created a proprietary formula, the Master Connection Formula, a powerful framework which gives you the tools to stand out in your market and attract quality leads to your business. So welcome to the show, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I am so glad that you are here. So, because you and I met through Facebook networking I'm pretty sure it was a group of business entrepreneurs, and they gave us podcasters the opportunity to say, hey, I'm looking for guests. And we connected and we had a meeting and we were like, yep, this is a great fit. So I got you on the show as quickly as I possibly could. And so let's share with everybody your background. How did you get to where you are today?
Yeah, so it's just amazing because today, as we are recording this episode, I've been with network marketing for 10 years. So today is my anniversary, which is pretty amazing. But, just embarking on this opportunity of network marketing has shown me that the world is your oyster. I just love the opportunity that direct sales gives you. And I was working in advertising in New York City, and I really didn't even know the words network marketing actually existed in a sentence together. I didn't know those two words actually went together. So I was doing my thing and climbing the corporate ladder, and somebody approached me with an opportunity to jump on board. And I just liked the idea of creating an income for myself, creating more time and financial freedom. And I like expensive things, but I'm also a very responsible person. And I had bills and I was having a baby and all the things that life presents you. And I was creating an income through my 9-to-5 job, but it just wasn't enough. And with this idea that I like nice things, I just didn't want my whole paycheck to go to my bills without me having a little bit of extra for myself. And so I jumped onto an opportunity that gave me the chance to afford the luxuries in life while paying my bills. And once I dug down deep into this idea that I can be really successful, and I learned how to masterfully connect with people in a very authentic way, I learned those skills and I just began to ram with it. I just jumped with 2 feet into it. And that's really how I catapulted my business, by just believing in myself and believing in the business model as a whole.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I had a different experience growing up. My mom was the perpetual hostess, meaning she was always the mom who was having the Tupperware party, the Mary Kay party, the all of the things back in the 80s. Yes, I'm dating myself. Y'all have an idea of how old I am. It's all good. But so I knew it existed, but I didn't begin to flirt with the idea of even joining until I was in my 30s. It was, it was crazy. But so going from now you're 10 years in with this, and you've been with Girls with Goals Who Give. You co-founded that about 3 years ago. What moved you from doing your advertising and marketing corporate job? Have you left that job, I'm assuming?
Yeah. So I was in advertising and marketing in New York City for 13 years and building alongside my network marketing business. And I was able to retire from my corporate job because I had built my network marketing business to 7 figures. And I left my network marketing career in, oh my goodness, I can't remember the year, but it's after 6 years of doing, maybe 5 years of doing network marketing and my corporate job side by side. So I've been home now, actually 6 years. I've been home for 6 years now.
Okay.
So 4 years of doing them together. I apologize. 4 years of doing them together. And 6 years just solely working my network marketing business. And then 3 years ago, so have I got the timeline right?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
10 years ago, I started my network marketing career. After 4 years, I retired myself from corporate. And then 3 years later, I started Girls with Goals Who Give. So 3 years ago, I just had this burning desire to give back in a bigger way because I loved the industry. I felt like I could support women to grow equally successful businesses. And I wanted to give them these advanced strategies that I knew to attract quality and loyal customers and how to grow a duplicating downline. And I felt that if I dug down deep and I realized the exact strategies that I used, and I could kind of lay it out on a plan, I actually had this blueprint. I had this formula. And my co-founder was the second person who actually joins me in my network marketing business, but we've known each other for over 20 years, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Since 1990, we've known each other. And so her and I just wanted to give back in a bigger way. And we felt like we can just change so many people's lives by teaching them this strategy. So we came up with this master connection formula, which teaches women the art of connection and this idea of reciprocity on how to build a business by giving back, whether it was giving back to charities and giving your time to other people, and just this idea of giving back, or this idea of reciprocity, of connecting people together, of giving referrals to each other. Because once you have this give in your nature, that's exactly when your business can really boom and grow.
I would 100% agree with that. I think it's really important to have a business that is bigger than you, that your drive for doing this, you've got to have a why and a drive that's outside of yourself and your own personal goals, because frankly, other people don't care if you pay your bills or not. I mean, they do, but they don't, right? If that makes sense, right? But they are more likely to purchase from you. And certainly if you differentiate yourself from all the other people who do the same business you do, because in some cases, you may be the only representative or consultant that they know in the company, but you're going to be the first in the line of many. And so what you want to do is differentiate yourself, because one of the things I've kind of pointed out to my clients over the years is you're not in competition with other people who sell the same category of product you do. So it's not skincare company against skincare company. You're kind of in competition with other people who sell the same product you do, because it's a matter of, if somebody loves the product, they just have to find the person who's differentiated themselves through customer service, differentiated themselves through, selling it cheaper than everybody else. They found a way to give a discount, or they're paying for shipping or something, right? Or thirdly, the most effective way is what you're talking about, is giving back. Having a very, something that you're really promoting big time that's bigger than you. So for example, for me and my business, it's Donate Life America. Every time a coaching client comes on with me, I thank them with a card saying, thank you. Because of you, I'm now able to make an additional donation to Donate Life America because I'm a living kidney donor. And so I want to continue to create healthy, whole families through organ donation, right? And I think that's a really important thing. So for some people, it's dogs. For some people, it's horses. For some people, it's foster kids. For some, everybody has a different goal. And so as you've been working with people on this Girls with Goals Who Give, that is a mouthful, but it's fun to say.
I know we picked out two hardest letters in the alphabet to say next to each other. GWG.
Exactly. So one thing that stood out for me as you were talking about this was the ability for people to duplicate themselves in their downline. And that is something that not many people have in the forefront of their mind. They think of it as recruiting. They don't think of it as duplication. And I think that's a really important distinction. So can we delve into that part? Is that cool?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that Amanda and I really hone in on is this idea that people are not attracting the right people to their businesses, which is not causing the duplication. And so the way that we have created this master connection formula is really centering around bringing the right people into your business so you can know exactly how to talk to this right person and you are resonating with them. They are excited, they are empowered, and they are duplicating because you're basically kind of on the same wavelength as them. And in many businesses, take network marketing and put it to the side for a minute. In many businesses, the forefront is creating an ideal client avatar. Okay. And so Amanda and I feel that there's no reason why, just because your product and opportunity could be for everyone, there's no reason why you can't have an ideal avatar for yourself when you have a network marketing business. It'll allow you to stand out. And so we hear oftentimes you don't know what to say to grab the right people's attention. You're not attracting the right people to your business. You feel overwhelmed with social media and all you're doing is trying to sell to strangers about your opportunity. You're trying to DM them and you don't really know them from a hole in the wall. And we hear oftentimes they're very disorganized about how to even track their new connections. And they're not even having success converting them and once they do, they're not actually working. And because they don't really know them. And so all of this has stemmed back because they're not attracting the right people into their business. And that really gave us a lot of clarity that it's about, if you identify the right person to bring onto your business, all of that actually sort of simmers down. And so that's how we created the Master Connection Formula. That's how we created our course, Connect to Convert. So it allows you to build your downline at lightning speed, because once you figure out and you gain clarity on who to talk to, you can figure out how to stand out. You can figure out who you want to build relationships with, and you can figure out how you could be the solution to the problem that your ideal avatar is looking for. And that is when you can really build big.
I 100% agree with that. So I'm going to ask you a question, and I want your straight up opinion on this. I would rather, and this is your choice, okay? I would rather have 100 team members who all do a little bit, or I would rather have 5 amazing team members who do a lot.
Okay, so wait, what was your answer? Because I feel like you.
So what I'm asking you is answer the question of I would rather. Would you rather have the 100 people who all do a little bit, or would you rather have 5 people who do a lot, who duplicate themselves?
Okay, so from my experience, and I built a 7-figure business, I would rather have 5 people who do a lot. And that's because it's proven to me that that's what works. And I've seen and studied many successful network marketers who have said that most of their success comes from people that they can count on their hands, because those people are the people that duplicate. And I have had people that are on my downline that have literally recruited 40 people to their business, and they all literally do like a spattering of business, and they cannot grow for the life of them. Then they get frustrated and then they quit.
Yes.
And that is what the issue is. So my success really has come from 5 people. And that's how I have grown to a multi-million-dollar business. So that is why it is a little bit of a slower process, but it causes less burnout. Yeah. So that's why I have been in it for 10 years at this point. And I hope maybe one time when somebody's listening to this, it'll be 13 years and 16 years since I've been in it. And because it causes sustainability.
Yeah, absolutely. And because that's the thing is it's people are always impressed with, or I have found in my experience that people are impressed with when you can say, I brought 10 people onto my business in 1 month. And people think they want that until they realize that those 10 people, because they weren't the right people, because they came in for the wrong reasons, because they brought them in during a time when, hey, it's free to join our company right now, or it's $20 to join our company right now. They came in for the wrong reasons because they were like, oh, it's $20 to come in and get the discount. Right. So as you're going through with the people who are in your coaching program to look at duplicating themselves, you said the first thing that you look at is their ideal client avatar. Is that just for like the customers they're selling to? Because do you have them creating that ideal client avatar because they're looking to sell to certain people who then also potentially become team members? Or do you have them actually come up with 2 different avatars then, an ideal client avatar and then an ideal team avatar?
Yeah, a lot of the times the avatars will be different depending on which network marketing company you're with. So that is like, it does vary. If you're in like the health and wellness space and you're with a company that sells those types of products, many times you'll obviously go to an avatar who resembles somebody who's disciplined, somebody who's motivated, somebody who works out at a gym, somebody who shops at like clothing stores that sell workout clothes, somebody who shops at a health food store, maybe somebody who looks up recipes that are like healthy recipes. So those are like all attributes of an avatar that somebody would look for who might spy a product that from somebody who represents a health and wellness. And oftentimes, yes, those product users convert into a teammate. So like sometimes the avatar can be the same, but oftentimes when you are with a company, your avatar could be completely different. Like I have a corporate background, I mentioned. I was looking for somebody who was motivated, who was disciplined, but not necessarily in any particularly like space, whether they were in like corporate America or fitness, or, I was just looking for qualities based on the qualities that I had. So maybe somebody who was just very organized, or maybe who had a certain income, or who had children. So you can define your avatar also based on your own experiences, and you will start to see a pattern. And oftentimes what happens is the private clients that we work with, they often sometimes have somebody on their team that is a fiery business partner, but they have like 1 or they have 2. And then we try and work with them and say like, all right, well, what do these qualities have? And what qualities do you have? that let's try and find some common ground for your avatar for a business builder. And then we work through that together to try and find like a template, so to speak, of how we can figure out how to reach those ideal avatars through social media, through in-life events. And we can dig down deep to find ways to convert those connections into profit, so to speak.
Right.
And then with, just sharing your product, we look at obviously what you sell, and then we go towards the person that would buy it.
Right. Absolutely. Because one of the fascinating things that I've learned in, probably the last year is what you're doing. And do you know who Jordan Adler is?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You're doing his process. This is how he also built a multi-million-dollar team, multi-million-dollar business. And I mean multi-millions in terms of the commissions, not what his team sells, but what he makes in commissions and overrides from his downline, right? And it's this duplication process and going through and focusing on these 5 people who are just your absolute perfect people to work with. They love working with you. You love working with them, and they're duplicating themselves. That is huge. That's how he did this, right? Is through that process. So going through and, as you're working with people on their duplication process, about how long is it taking you? Because you said it took you 4 years to get to the point where you were able to retire yourself. Are you finding that you're doing that with your clients, and are you doing it in the same timeline, or are you managing to speed it up because you've already like left behind all the learning process and you're shortening their learning curve?
Yeah, it's funny because it's exciting to be able to realize, like, when you sit back now and you're like, holy crap, I was doing this all along and I didn't even know it. So, and that's been super fun to kind of recognize it. But yes, now that we've got the skills and we've made the mistakes we've made, we're able to teach it to our clients much faster. We have a client, private coaching client. We've been working with her. I think it was 3 months in, where she like sent us a text. She's like, I cannot even believe how many doors have been opening up for me. I've been like limiting myself so much before, but now I'm connecting daily with these ideal business partners, and I'm being asked to speak at events, and people are excited to connect with me. And my funnel is so full. She's like, I can't believe it. I'm taking it one day at a time, but I'm trusting the process and it's working. She's recruited 3 people. She's pushing herself outside the comfort zone. And every day, she's like, I cannot thank you enough for walking me to the edge and just giving me the know-how to jump. Because before, she was literally talking to anyone with a pulse. Yeah. But now she's intentional and recruiting 3 people within 3 months. Yeah, that sounds great if you're just, again, talking to anybody with a pulse. But these people that she brought on, they were her ideal avatar. So it's amazing to see.
Oh my gosh. And it's got to make it so much easier to get up in the morning knowing that, number one, your business is not fully dependent on you any longer, right? Because you've brought in the right people that you actually like to work with because they're your ideal team member. I mean, come on.
We have another private client, and the first, like, we, obviously meet with them to see if it's a good fit. And one of the reasons why she started wanting to work with us is because she said to us, my team is just like, they're not excited. They're not, I just want to have fun with my team. And the reason why she wasn't having fun with her team was because they weren't her people. They were like so far removed from what they wanted versus what she wanted. They didn't have the same goals. Nobody was aligned. She wanted to narrow down the passionate people that she could really build with, who had hunger and fire. And that's when she knew she could duplicate if she narrowed down who she really needed to talk to. And that's when we said, listen, it's about quality over quantity. And it's okay. We understand that this is the thing. It's very different from the old school strategies, right? We'll tell you, reach out to 100 people and see what sticks. Send out 100 messages. And we get it. It's going against the grain a little bit. So it's a little bit of a mindset, like a little bit of a mindset fuck, because people are saying, well, I got to copy and paste these messages. I got to tell everybody about my products. I have to tell everybody about my opportunity. I don't want to prejudge anyone. But when that happens and you don't start prejudging anyone, everybody joins and everybody walks away from it. And then what happens to you? You feel deflated. You feel like a failure. And you don't feel like you could be effective in finding the right excited people. And you're in a tired state of searching.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I 100% agree with that statement in that. And for me, what came up in what you said is I don't want to prejudge people. I think part of the reason they have an issue with that is because it's prejudged. The difference is it's not prejudging, it's qualifying the right people, right? Funny side story here. So I teach a masterclass called Sponsor the Right People, and I had to change the name of it because Facebook thought that was like it went against community guidelines because it was, the right people. Like I was some white supremacist or something. I was like, oh, great. You don't have a problem with the BDSM. You have a problem with the right people. Okay. But no, I think that's what's so interesting is so many people come into this because they are new to business in general, because network marketing and direct sales attracts service-oriented people. Those of us who are stay-at-home moms or teachers or nurses, we're not in the business of keeping the hospital or the school going. We're just serving the clients, right? We're serving the patients, we're serving the students, we're taking care of our own kids. We're not necessarily in a business mindset of keeping everything up and running, right? So going into a business like this, when our uplines are telling us, send 100 messages, we don't know any better. We don't know any better. And so that's why I wanted to get you on to share with people to say, hey, there is a better way. There is a different way to do this. And you have this really awesome giveaway for people that's going to help them with this, instead of sending 100 messages that are bugging and begging your friends, family, and complete strangers. Instead, what can they do? Instead of sending those 100 blanket, boring, the message that everybody else is getting kind of thing.
Thank you for asking. So one of the biggest challenges that we hear from our coaching clients and from our members is that they struggle on how to break the ice with people that they really want to talk to and how to walk them through a conversation once they know that they might be the right person, or trying to figure out how to see if they are the right person and to really close the sale. So we created 25 conversation starters to genuinely walk your new connections from an invite to a yes. So it's really we've gotten so much great responses from it, and like messages and emails being like, oh my God, I just closed this person, closed that person, using the 25 conversation starters, because it allows you to get to understand your prospects' pain points and visions of what they want from either your product or your opportunity. And it gives you the exact language on how to even just say hello and how to ask for the close.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. This is what you guys need. So if you want Lisa's 25 conversation starters, go into the show notes. Now, if this is your first time ever listening to the podcast, I'm going to tell you how to get there. All you have to do is grab your phone, because I'm assuming you're listening from your phone, click on the episode and scroll up just a little bit, and you'll see the show notes there, and you'll see a big giant link that's the girls with goals who give 25 conversation starters. You can't miss it. We try and make it as obvious as possible in the show notes. Go click on that link to get your copy of the 25 conversation starters from Lisa and the girls with goals who give. I think that's brilliant, because if you can start the conversation and walk them through to a yes, whether it's a yes for the product, a yes for the business opportunity conversation, right? And then eventually into that's going to help you grow so much. I absolutely love that. So thank you for sharing that with my audience. I so appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Because that's a brilliant thing. So, and Lisa, if people want to connect with you outside of the show, how would you like them to find you? Where do you want them to go to find you?
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. We really just we're not all about like the show. We want to just really provide value. So follow us on Instagram. We're constantly giving tidbits of information there through our stories and through carousels on our feeds. So go ahead and type in Girls with Goals Who Give on Instagram. You can follow us there and send us a message to say hi.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one thing that I think is really interesting with the whole podcasting thing is when people do eventually reach out to me as the host, they're like, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm like, oh, honey, you're not bothering me. Thank you for telling me that you listen to the show. Yeah. We are so excited to know that people are listening. So please reach out to us, reach out to Lisa, say hi on her Instagram DMs in order to let her know that you heard her here on the show, because she's going to know that her time spent here was absolutely worth it. So Lisa, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you.
You're so welcome. Thank you for having me. It was a blast.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we're going to have you back because there are so many more conversations I think you and I could have around this topic for days. So, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. And Badass Crew, you guys know how this goes. Stay tuned because there's another badass episode on its way.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your direct sales dom, Jenny Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.